Hi Sagittarius, this is your reading for love and relationships, August 2018. So let me shuffle the cards for just a little while longer, for a few more seconds. I don't know why these cards are frisky. Obviously, they might have a little bit of that fire energy from you, Sagittarius. Okay, gonna cut the cards. Okay, the first card is a 9 of Wands. I have the Magician, who also has a wand, by the way. And then I have the World reversed. This is a Queen of Cups. I have a King of Wands reversed. That's interesting. I have an Ace of Swords. I have a Six of Wands. I have a Queen of Wands. And then I have a Three of Pentacles. This is interesting. All right, here's the deal. This is a very interesting column here. You've got all this Wands energy in addition to the Magician. The King of Wands represents Leo, and he's reversed. And then the Queen of Wands represents Aries. So we don't have the Knight of Wands, but that's okay because it feels as if there's a big force coming from this fire involving you, Sagittarius. So this is a very intriguing spread. And so what's the other cards that are not Wands or the Magician? We get a little bit of water, we have a pentacle, we have a sword, and then we have the World reversed here. And it feels like maybe they might be getting in the way for you as far as the relationship and what you want in your partner. For instance, when I look at the Magician, and these are the only two major arcana cards you have, and the Magician is about personal will, making things happen, using your personal power. But then the World is reversed. The World is about a delay, or problems that just keep coming up over and over again. And what I'm seeing here is you using your personal power, where you want the relationship to go a particular way. You want a particular ending, but it's reversed. It's almost as if the universe is saying, no, not quite yet. Whenever there's major arcana, it's usually in reference to things going on in a bigger picture, as far as things you don't see and things you're not aware of. Okay. So yeah, it seems like you have this Nine of Wands. You're preparing for battle. You're preparing to take what you want. You have the Magician, and then it's almost as if you run into a roadblock here. And so with this King of Wands reverse, a reversal of fire, when fire is reversed, it can get pretty chaotic. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're necessarily you're bringing the negative energy, although of course it can definitely mean that. If this was representing a particular person, it can mean someone who's too self-centered, and impatient and doesn't want to wait. So when I see some of your fire energy here, Sagittarius, I'm getting the sense that you're very impatient, that you're trying to push the relationship in the direction you want to go. And before you guys get like, no, I'm not, Aire. What are you talking about? But it's not just a physical thing. It means that you've dug in your heels and you have expectations for what you want, and you're not capable of being flexible. So that's what I mean when fire energy is reversed. And it can also speak to you trying and trying and trying with this relationship, and you just keep getting knocked back from the other person, you know. And so this Queen of Cups might actually be a person of interest here, because you see her turned away from this King of Wands, all calm and cool, just sipping her water here. She's content. Um, she's in control of her emotions. Nothing bothers her. And she's very serene. So I see that as a definite contrast to what's going on with this King of Wands, who seems to be getting hot and bothered more and more when the relationship still doesn't go his or her way. And so I'm kind of seeing some balance or making headway here, because after this Queen of Cups and this King of Wands, you have an Ace of Swords. And an Ace of Swords is always good to have, because the Ace of Swords brings clarity and truth and determination. But you have to act with the right perception. You have to know, um, you have to be able to see clearly to have the right intentions. You just can't. And that's the thing about fire and wands, that sometimes fire energy is very impatient and it's very quick and it doesn't want to wait. But you also need to get a perception of, you know, if things aren't working out, you have to have some clarity about why they're not working out. And there are some things that you just can't rush. Okay? So that's what I'm seeing here in this middle row. When we get here to the future, then things start to come together, because you have that Six of Wands, and you have the Queen of Wands, which represents Aries. And together, this Queen of Wands is like, okay, the queens are more passive. Kings are more active. The kings are like the ones who make the decision and give the directions. And they put their thoughts into action. Queens are more passive. They take a step back. They're more interested. The queens, whether it's Queen of Cups or Queen of Wands, queens are more introspective, right? They work from within. And so maybe this is what you needed to have, Sagittarius, in order to get new perspective on the relationship and sort of work with your partner a little bit. Because it feels as if maybe your partner is not at the same pace as you are, and they're not on the same page as you are. Now, obviously, this can all play out in different ways, because some of you might actually be with a love interest or partner who's just not interested in commitment. Okay? But I feel like here with this last row, as we head into future influences, that now it looks like you're pulling back a little bit and adjusting. And you have some of the slow energy of the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles, usually it's associated with job and career, because it's about receiving recognition, achieving success, using your talents and your gifts, and it's about hard work. So I'm getting a feeling that these Three of Pentacles are coming along at the right time for you in the future, because then there's going to be like, let's take it down a notch and be flexible and be more thoughtful and practical. and sort of tame that fire energy a little bit. Okay, so let me go ahead and shuffle for the outcome card. Okay. Your outcome card is the High Priestess. Now this is nice because remember what I said about introspection. The interesting thing about the High Priestess, and everybody should have the energy of the High Priestess in their relationships, and I will tell you why. The High Priestess, she's in touch with her intuition. In fact, the Queen of Cups is actually a daughter of the High Priestess, because the High Priestess rules everything that's about intuition and the subconscious. And cups are naturally intuitive, but the High Priestess has inner knowledge, intuition. And also, the High Priestess doesn't allow her emotions to get away from her. And she complements the Magician. Remember what I said about kings and queens. Kings are active energy, but queens are more passive. And when I say passive, it doesn't mean that they're a doormat and you know, they don't do anything. But their action is from within. And they trust their inner wisdom. They trust their intuition. And so I think it's pretty interesting. This follows the theme of what I was saying with this King of Wands reverse turning into a Queen of Wands. We have the Magician who's trying to push and make things happen using personal power outwardly. Then you have the High Priestess who says, no, let's try this. Let's work from our inner power. Let's not try to get impatient. Let's not try to let our emotions get away from us. What does this mean for you and your love interest, or you and your partner? It means that you might be laying low a little bit, Sagittarius, in this relationship. You might need to relinquish control with this person in order to move ahead, because remember, you have this Three of Pentacles, and 3 is a wonderful number because 3 is about two forces in the tarot, in the Wiccan tarot. This is about two forces coming together to create a third. This is about creation. And so you have the potential to create a wonderful, stable relationship, but you might need to put on the brakes a little bit. That's the message I'm getting from the Oracle. So that was your reading. And thank you to all the Patreon sponsors. And if you are a Patreon sponsor, you're getting this reading 2 weeks ahead of everybody else who's subscribing to YouTube. And I have a bunch of other fun stuff along the way, so stay tuned for that. But I want to thank everybody, whether you're a Patreon sponsor or not, for your support, your wonderful comments. And I'm so happy to see that the readings are bringing you some clarity. So take care. I hope you're having a wonderful summer, and I will see you next month.